Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Talented Universe. I'm so excited today. We've got two shows on vertical dramas today, and our first one is with a guest that we have not had on before, which is very cool. But before we introduce our guest, I am going to introduce our my two other hosts. Marcia, how are you doing this glorious day?
I am doing great. It's about 100 degrees outside here in Florida, so I'm glad to be inside and talking cool with our cool guest.
There you go. Liz, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Right now, it's 20 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, so it's only 86. But it is planning on rising to probably be about 100.
Yeah, I'm in the 80s, so I can totally understand that. At least I think it's in the 80s. I haven't looked in a couple hours, so it may be worse, but I don't want to know. I do not want to know. But I would like to introduce our guest today, Kaydin Gibson. Kaydin, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay so far. Same thing over here. It's pretty hot, so I have my fan and my window open.
And is it helping?
Nah, not really. No.
Not really? Oh, that's too
No.
bad. Too bad. Okay, I've got a question in the chat room from Justin, and he asked which of those characters. Oh, sorry, I got to do the first question. Shameful. My favorite roles of yours were Aaron Piers in The Beehive, in Moneyman, in I'm always Phase Must Short, Edward in Tame Me, My Lord, and Leo in It's Meant to Be. And then he asked, which of those characters do you relate to the most?
Ooh.
And which one do you relate to the least? And
The least.
part is,
okay.
Would you hang out with any of them in real life if they asked?
Oh, the one I really relate the most is Aaron, because Aaron is such like a he's not really a productive person. He doesn't really like hanging out with like new people. He just likes hanging out with the exact same people that he knew like from the beginning, like from elementary, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like that myself. I didn't like hang out with new people. I just hang out with like the exact same three people that I grew up with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I understand that and I connect with that character a lot.
How about the least?
Oh, what was the other characters?
I'll throw-
I had to say Edward, like from Tame Me, My Lord. I don't think I will ever hang out with that guy.
Never. Okay.
Never, ever. He's bad news. He's a terrible person.
Well, then I guess
a spoiled brat.
Well, there you go. But they have a place in the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows? Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with Liz. Liz, do you have some fun things to bring up with Kaydin?
Well, I do have some fun things, but I first want to start off with a couple of basics. What exactly made you want to do acting, and how old were you? Who influenced you?
Ooh, I've been like asking myself that question like last few days. I think it started like when I watched my very first movie at a very young age. I would have to say The Matrix, Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always like dreamed about what it would be like to be on set or be in those action movies. And I guess you just build up from there. And when I found out what I really want to do, like acting, was in grade 12, my very first high school play. And I was playing Kato from Pink Panther. And after that play, I just fell in love with it.
Okay, that makes sense. So how did you find out about the vertical world?
Well, I've been hearing like stories here and there, like during COVID times.
Mm-hmm.
But I never got an audition like for these little mini projects. I started getting them actually last September, about Meant to Be. That was my very first time auditioning for a vertical. And I didn't understand like what it was about, because all it just said in the email was a mini series, which I thought would be like, oh, maybe it might be a mini series that might start up to be something bigger, like for TV or something like that.
Yeah.
Little than I know is like for YouTube and these vertical video reels.
interesting. I know a lot of the vertical actors wind up going everywhere for their different things. Where all have you filmed?
So far, only Vancouver. I was about to do like a vertical in Toronto actually,
Oh,
but they sadly they picked someone else already. But never say never, right?
nope. You never know. When during this program, you might get a phone call to have you go to China.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I was like these producers who are running like these mini vertical studios. A few of them asked me to come to China to do a vertical in the beginning, which for me I was like kind of nervous because I was just starting out doing these verticals in last September. So I shut them down just a few times here and there. But if I get offered again to go to China, I'm gonna say yes.
I
Good.
would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be really fun to see you in a lot more going forward. It was kind of funny when I started to realize who you were. I'm like, I actually have seen 2 or 3 things that you've been in. And it really kind of surprised me. It wasn't verticals.
Really?
No, it was not verticals. My daughter, who is now 20, had actually really liked Riverdale and kind of got me into it. And
Oh
I'm
no.
like, that cannot be. And then I researched it. Yes, it is. So here's the question that she wanted to ask.
hmm
And I already kind of know the answer. But did the design team allow you to keep that jacket, the serpent
Oh
jacket?
no, I tried to sneak it. I tried
You
to sneak
did.
away with it. I tried. No, they didn't allow me to.
Ah,
I did try to take it. I did try to take it.
that's funny.
Yeah.
But I'll let Michael or Marcia do a couple more questions before I hit
Yeah,
you up.
let's go with Marsha.
Yeah, one of your roles that I particularly liked was in the Beehive, which was a feature length movie, and you played a teenager who had what they call angst. You had a lot
Angsty,
going
yeah.
on. You had a
Angsty
lot.
teen.
Yeah. Well, how did that role come about? How did you join that project?
So actually, it was like, oh, when did we start filming it? I think in 2021. I know this was during COVID. So
Mm.
I graduated from acting school back in 2019. No, I started in 2019, graduated in 2020. And my teacher from acting school sent me this audition for the Beehive. And she just said, this is you. This is like the perfect role for you. Audition it now and see what happens, which I did. And I got it. And she was right. But the process was like I sent in my self tape. Like I sent 2 different takes. One was like a happy scene, one was like a sad scene. Haven't heard from them for like months. Like I think it's almost been like 2 months since I heard like anything from them. And they asked for like, oh my God, we like your self tape. Can you do another one? But this one was like really high stakes. I was overthinking it, asking a lot of acting coaches to help me with the self tape. It was like a big process. So I sent that one in. Again, haven't heard from them for another month. And then we would like to do a table read with you. And I was like, hey, this is it. This is it. I'm in. I'm at the table read, getting to meet other people who might be playing the other actors, or I might be meeting the other person who might be playing Aaron as well. And so far, they haven't switched me out during the table read with another Aaron. I was just like reading with other like co-star who might be reading for the sister or the group of friends or like the father as well and the auntie. But they didn't switch me out like at all. So for me in my head during that process, like, hey, this is good. This is good.
What was it like when you heard that how did you feel when you got the role?
Oh my God, when I found out I got the role, I jump off the couch and I was just cheering. I was like, oh my God, yes, finally.
That um, it's a horror kind of sci-fi chill
Horror
out
sci-fi.
and there's a lot of atmosphere in the role. You have your group of friends and you have your little sister who runs around with her camcorder.
Yeah.
And I see your happy face here and I'm looking at that role and you're quite a good actor because that's totally
It's totally the exact opposite.
And in that role, did they film it sequentially, or did they film it so along with the story? So the first part, or did
Oh
they film?
no, like first day on set, we were filming the running scene, like we are running away from I think dad, I believe, when he was like dying, I think. And we are
Mm,
just running through the fields. That was the first day that we started filming. So very
wow.
first day, we were running and screaming, huffing and puffing.
Well, unfortunately, Aaron doesn't fare very well.
No, no, he does not. No.
How was
Especially
it
he's sick, so.
filming a scene like that when with your what I call your demise sort of, and your sister is, she doesn't want to leave you, and how was that for you?
Sorry, what was the question again?
The part where you were trapped and your sister had to finally leave you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the process of that. Oh, I felt so hurt, felt sad because my character dies. For
Hmm.
me, I saw it as a pot like oh my god, this is a good chance to show what I can like bring to the table, right?
Yeah.
So I just gave it my all in that scene.
Hmm.
I didn't care if I had a voice crack or miss some of the words.
Hmm.
Like it was a good experience.
And it came across to me as a viewer, so I was taken in by that poignancy of that scene, and so well done. Well done.
Yeah, Justin has, I think it's related to this one. Have your friends watched that show? Do they freak out, panic, pee, etc.?
Oh man, like I brought some of my friends to the premiere actually. They were just shooting at Rio Theater in Vancouver and they loved it. They didn't really cry or anything. They're just like, man, like this is not Caden, this is Aaron,
Yeah, well, hey, that's good. That's what you're doing.
which is really good, right?
And
Yeah.
his follow up saying, I got nightmares from your shows, which is always a plus.
Actually, it is. It shows you're doing your job, right?
Absolutely. It
Exactly,
does.
yeah.
Yeah, they get into the moment and don't realize that, yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm going to go back to Liz because I have a feeling she's got a good one coming up.
Ooh.
Well, actually, it's a tie-in to the Beehive.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
To me, watching the Beehive, actually, I love watching these kind of horror thrillers, and it reminded me of a cross between M. Shamalot Night and the person who wrote the book that Three Body Problem was based on. And I don't know if you know that program or not.
Oh, I
And
do know.
I believe that was Lou Sixon. But it's kind of the same almost premise of the weird invasion and everything else that's going on. But you have done several horror type shows. What is your favorite genre, or are you scared you're going to get typecast into doing these?
Not really, to be honest. I love horror movies. I don't I grew up with watching horror movies actually. I was a horror fanatic.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. So, to be honest, I don't mind being typecasted to be like in these horror movies because I like it actually.
that's what you like.
Hmm.
That's awesome. But yeah, I saw that and I'm like, okay. And have you seen? I think it came out last year or maybe 15 or 18 months ago. I think there was a new M. Shamalot Night, and I was wondering if you had seen any of those.
What was that?
I was wondering if you had seen any of M. Shamalot Night stuff, or
I have not.
Who is your favorite horror writer?
Horror writer?
Yeah.
I would have to say, I forgot his name, but Scream. The very first Scream.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping
Are
you'd
you,
say
ta- are you
Stephen
talking?
King,
Are
but
you talking about like the writers like books, like horror books?
books that have then transitioned into movies, like
Yeah.
Stephen King transitioned into Kubo, and
Then it would definitely be like Stephen King.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna throw this back at you, Michael.
Okay, I'm going to throw it to Marcia.
Well, I want to go to more of a humorous role that you had, and it's meant to be with Leo, which I thought was you had a chance to really do some funny stuff.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I had a blast playing this character. He was such a a ball of fun.
so, and you're so good at it because humor is not easy to do.
Mm-mm.
And was this kind of your first real humorous?
Yeah, this was like my very first time playing a comedic character or like a high energy kind of person, I would say. That was my very first role playing that type of character. And I do not regret it. Like it was so much fun being him, being Leo. Even the name sounds fun.
Do you have some memories from that role or something
Oh, I remember the whole thing.
that you'd like to share with us, maybe?
I would have to say my very like favorite scene that I had to do with Liu is when I was like confronting the main actress about like the pregnancy thing. That was a lot of fun, just delivering that monologue to her, just going up to her like just saying I've been spying on you and why are you at the hospital? And then I look at the piece of paper and I'm like, oh my God, she's pregnant. Like everything was a 10 for him. Everything was like either 100 or over, like the energy level.
Hmm. Fans love bloopers, and
Yeah.
I know those verticals are shot so quickly, but you got
Yeah.
to have some bloopers from.
I wish I got bloopers from that. No, I didn't get any of them.
Yeah, but there were some that were kind of left on the cutting room floor, maybe.
Oh, if there was, I better see it. I would love to post that and show everybody.
Yeah,
Now, Marcy,
It was a lot of fun.
yeah. I had fun watching it. Yeah.
now, Marcia, you know that he's a consummate professional. Do you really think that he's going to do any bloopers? He nails it every single time they roll.
Well, I know that that the verticals are shot very tightly, and you have to really be ready. And in getting ready for a role that contains humor like that, how do you practice for that? Do you practice at home, or how do you?
For me, when I was reading this character, I already knew this guy was like funny. This like energy is up high. So when I was like just practicing the lines in my room, I was moving a lot. I used my lot of like arm gestures here and there. And then when you go on set, like you said, these verticals are like so tight, right? So I wasn't able to move my body as much because most verticals are just still and maybe a few hands here and there. But as you see, Leo, he's like,
Right.
Yeah.
So you had to bring him in a little bit.
I had to bring him in a little bit. I think sometimes they had to like do like a far away shot so they can see how Leo is moving around and just using his arms and just
Hmm. So from horror to to humor to what haven't you maybe done that you want to do a role like you've done two extremes.
two extremes. So far I've done like edgy teen comedy. I did this one called Butler's Revenge. I think they changed it to My Forbidden Butler's Love or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yes.
was like the main villain, number one villain in that little vertical show. That was a lot of fun playing that character
Hmm.
because I was playing like an evil, crazy lunatic, which it was also a lot of fun.
Cool. I have more, but Michael, did you want to?
Yeah, I was going to ask. It was something similar to Marsha's, but and Liz's. So I'll just steal the rest of the question. And I hope Liz didn't actually ask this, but she did ask about where you've been filming, and
Um,
you said you wanted to go to China. Is besides China, is there any place else you would love to go and film either a vertical or a movie or a TV series?
oh, yeah. London. I would love to film in London.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any particular reason or?
Well, the reason why I said that is because I just finished watching like the James Bond like movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just very cinematic, I would say, over there.
And it's
I
different.
would agree with you.
Yeah, and it's different. Yeah, I would usually say like in the States, but like a lot of movies and TV shows are already being filmed there. We already seen that like what it looks like in the States, what it looks like on set, and what it looks like on film and TV as well.
It's nice to have a little variety.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially if someone else is fitting the bill. So
Yeah.
Now,
really-
would it be a James Bond type role, or would it be
Ooh.
maybe periodical?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
3D
100%. It would definitely be a James Bond role.
Oh, cool.
Well, they're talking about making, bringing in a whole new James Bond. So
No, you never know. You're right. Yeah.
that's right.
We knew him when.
Yeah.
Mhm. But will he still be talking to us when he?
Oh, 100%. I'll make some time. I'll make time.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's the fun part. What roles do you prefer to play? Protagonist, the awful person in the show that wants to mess with everybody's lives, or do you have any particular one you like the best, or do you like the variety?
I like the variety, but the most thing I would love to say to be playing as is not the lead, but like the lead's best friend, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the perfect like middle ground because sometimes like even TV shows the second like leading friend gets some screen time, but he's also able to like be flexible, being funny or being serious, and sometimes he gets to show that he's kind of the hero sometimes. But as a lead, you're like constantly just being the hero, and you don't really get that much of variety to stretch your acting a little bit.
Yeah. Do you totally off things what we were just talking about, but do you find it's easy for you to memorize all the lines, especially if you're in a relatively leading role in these verticals, or haven't you had to do the 20 pages in a day memorization yet?
Well, 20 pages a day, yeah. I find it easy to just know the lines, I would say. It's easy for me to remember the lines, yeah.
Good for you. I
Also,
can't
if you
remember
if you
anyone's.
yeah, if you know the story, like if you know what's going on in the scene, it's 10 times easier than just remembering each line. Because even if you go off book, you still know what's going on, and you can say what's similar to the lines that you need to say. Plus, you can always do like another take as well.
Just one usually in verticals.
Yeah, usually one in verticals, yeah.
Yeah.
But the verticals, they're pretty easy to remember.
No, okay. Well, then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Liz or Marcia?
The one thing that I wanted to ask was, you've done what? You said 10 verticals now?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And of all of those, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, what do you think was either your most humorous moment that happened that you remember, or your favorite memory from any of the shows?
Oh, I have to say meant to be because, Leo, like he was like the most humorous guy on set. So I just kept with that energy throughout the entire time we were shooting meant to be.
Even once the cameras weren't rolling, you kind of stayed in character then?
I kind of stayed in character. I was already like that energetic, like kind of guy. It's been a while since I was on set, so I was kind of a little nervous. So the energy was still there, still up.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we had one guest quite a while ago that said that they wanted to take home, and I had to laugh at this for some of the things that they wanted to take home off set. And you'd already mentioned the jacket from Riverdale, so I won't ask you that. But he had said he wanted to take home this huge carved giraffe. It was a set piece from one of the verticals. I'm like, where would you put this huge carved wooden giraffe? So I was like, I'd rather stick with funniest memories than objects you want to bring home.
Yeah, second of all, like, how would you like sneak it out or like take it with you?
I know, and it was
Like
huge. It was like 3 feet
yeah,
tall.
if it's huge, yeah, like if it's big, like you can't put it in your backpack and just like walk away with it, right? But
Yeah,
that would be pretty hard to sneak out or get away with it.
pretty much. Yeah. Um, Michael or Marcia?
Well, Kaden, you could take on one of those beehive things.
Oh, I did. I took the shirt. I took the main shirt I was wearing in the poster shot. I took that with
Yeah.
me.
Ah, okay. So you've got you're getting a collection
Yeah.
of. Oh, okay. Do you have anything from your Leo role?
No, sadly, I didn't. There were like all suits. I was wearing
Yeah.
technically the suit that I was wearing in that vertical was my own. So technically, that's part of
Oh.
me,
Oh, okay. Well, another role you were in an episode of this series Tribal, and with Jessica Matten, and I know she is very active in Indigenous work, and um, so did you have many scenes with her? I didn't get to see that episode.
I didn't get that many scenes with her, sadly, but we did talk to each other like offsets while we are just waiting to be called to
Mhm.
record. She was a phenomenal actress. Yeah, she was very nice, very like polite, and she was like talking me through like just just stay calm, and just believe in yourself mostly, and you'll get through this, and you'll do a great job mostly.
Mhm. In your earlier roles, where you get to work with some veteran actors and actresses, what are some of the people who have influenced you or helped you to become more of a better actor, do you think?
Oh, I would. There's so many of them. Like I would
Mhm.
have to say every single one of them because every time I do a vertical or a TV show, I learn something new. Like every time actor like performs, I just learn from them. Because the last vertical I was just on, um, his name is Max.
Mhm.
Very nice guy, very humbling, and he just ab libs like a genius. Like he will just pull something out, and he just fits with the story. And for me, I'm just like about like text. I would just like read word for word, and sometimes I might like add a little word here and there. But him, he just brings more to the character, and I just learned a lot from him from that vertical last time I saw him.
Mhm. Earlier, you talked about how you became enamored of acting, and you mentioned Keanu Reeves. And from what we know, or I know, he seems like a really good human being, a person on the outside. But his role in The Matrix, did you happen to? I know you're pretty young. Were you able to see that in the theater?
No, but I remember that was like the very first movie that I can remember it from a really young age. I just never maybe sitting on the couch, I believe, and I was just watching it on TV.
Mm-hmm. What was it about that captured you? It
I
was.
would just say like the world that was built, like the world they were just building in the Matrix, like and all the like the cinema shots and the fighting scenes, and just Keanu Reeves's face. He was just like a unique face that you will remember.
Yeah. When you would Liz had asked you about where you might like to film when you mentioned London or England, and I started thinking about accents. Is that some area that you've explored? Is
Well, in the beginning, like before I moved to Vancouver, when I was working at McDonald's, I usually just like played around with accents here and there, because sometimes I just do like a Scottish accent, and I'm just like, "Here, let me get you a order for you."
there you go.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
and I just played around. Sometimes I do like a Matthew McConaughey, like, "How? What can I get for you?" All right, all right. Two fries. All right, let's get to the front. Like, I just played around, just had fun. But if I really want to like get serious with the accents, I would definitely hire like a coach for that.
Acting coach, yeah.
Yeah.
Coach.
My last question. Um, well, I'll throw Justin's last question first. Going back to Riverdale, if you could be any Riverdale character for 1 month, who would it be?
Ooh. Ooh. It would be like I've been told that I looked like Cole Sprouse back then because I had a little bit longer
did.
hair and stuff, and I had I either say Jughead or Archie.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would say Archie or not.
Yeah, it was either Jughead, Archie, or Reggie.
Reggie would be fun. Yeah. And my last question, and and then I'll let the others have their last question. This is what I ask almost all the vertical drama actors we've had. When you did your first vertical, and you had to explain to your friends what you were doing, how did you describe a vertical drama to them?
A cheesy soap opera miniseries.
And then
Something.
And if they
Yeah.
ask what's vertical mean, what would you say?
What's vertical? I just showed them for me, I just said, like when you watch YouTube shorts, it's like that.
Okay.
And they understand it right away. I was like, okay.
That helps. That helps.
Yeah.
Liz and Marcia, your final comments or questions?
Go ahead, Marcia, and I'll do
Okay,
mine.
well, I'd like to know what you have coming up next. What's next for us to see you in?
Ooh, I am
That
going to
you
be
can tell us
auditioning.
about.
If I can tell us about, I'm going to be auditioning for another vertical. So I don't know anything much about it, but I'll be playing a smirky guy. I would say charming, but he's an asshole. Yeah.
Maybe some humor thrown in. I don't know.
Maybe there's a little bit of humor thrown in there. Maybe, yeah.
Well, that sounds good. Keep us posted because we want to know.
100%.
Liz?
You had mentioned, of course, Keanu Reeves. Aside from him, what actor would you like to work with?
Ooh. That's a really big question. Sadly, I don't think I'll be able to get a chance to work with him because he announced his retirement. But Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay. I can actually see that, especially after your role with Leo. I actually
Yeah.
got to see it, oddly enough. Cool.
I would say, my Leo was kind of inspired by Jim Carrey. I would say.
Now that I'm
See, now I
thinking
have to
about it, I
go
think
back
you're
and
right.
watch it again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Kaydin, I promised you at about a little over a half an hour, and I'm going to try to keep it. If you would like to come back, we would love to have you come back when you've got a few more verticals or other things under your belt, like a feature film. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say that as closing. Those listening that are into the verticals, we do have the main cast, the top 5 cast of the new drama that just dropped on Viglu, Campus Rivals. And that is going to be with all 5 of the main actors tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, late for Marcia and I, 7:30 p.m. on the West Coast. And so we'd love to have you come in and join us for that one. Or just look at our page. You can see our pages up here. Please like, subscribe, and follow our pages because we would appreciate it for many reasons. Like you won't miss something that we've got on that might interest you, and you'll be able to watch live and ask questions to our guests like Justin does pretty almost all the time. So it is wonderful. And Kaydin, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you are more than welcome. And I'd like to say goodbye to everybody and enjoy and peace and all the good stuff. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.